Hi, welcome back to My Story Time with Nana. I have a whole new story for you. I'm very excited about it. It's another These United States of America. Let's begin. Colorado. Colorado became the 38th state in 1876. It's called the Centennial State because it became a United States 100 years after signing the United States Declaration of Independence. The capital is Denver, and the state tree is the blue spruce, kind of like a Christmas tree. The Continental Divide is in Colorado, and that means water that falls to the west of the divide flows to the Pacific Ocean, and water that flows to the east goes towards the Atlantic Ocean. There is much to do and see in Colorado, and this story takes place in two places. Mesa Verde, which means green table, and the Four Corners. Victor and his parents lived in Durango, Colorado. They loved their state and all it has to offer a family. One of Victor's favorite things to do is explore, and his daddy is planning a great adventure. Victor, are you ready to go? Daddy yelled up the stairs. Coming, Victor answered. He stuffed his Junior Ranger book into his backpack and headed downstairs. Okay, let's make some tracks and see some sights, Daddy said, ushering Mommy and Victor out the door. How long till we get there, Daddy? Victor asked, getting into the car. Not long, about an hour. Now for this trip, Daddy was towing a pop-up tent. He didn't like sleeping on the ground anymore in a regular tent. Said it hurt his back. Victor didn't care. He liked camping anyway. In a tent, in a pop-up, in an RV. It was fun. Have you ever been to the Mesa Verde National Park before, Mommy? Nope. This will be my first time too, she answered. Did you bring your Junior Ranger book? I did. I'm excited to get my Junior Ranger badge. Well, good. Once we get to our campsite, we'll head out to the Chapin Mesa Archaeological Museum, and you can begin your tasks. You should have your badge by dinner. An hour later, the family entered the Mesa Verde National Park. Daddy parked the pop-up on their site next to a picnic bench and unhooked the car. Okay, let's get set up and then we can head out for our Mesa Verde adventure. It didn't take very long to set up the campsite. Mommy and Daddy set up the pop-up tent and Victor filled the fire ring with wood for later. Hey, Victor, Daddy called out. I have something for you before we go over to the museum. Daddy handed Victor a box and the top read, Junior Ranger Adventure Pack. Wow, thanks, Daddy. This is so cool. It has everything I need to become a Junior Ranger. There's a compass and binoculars, a flashlight, and even a whistle that doubles as a thermometer. Well, I'm glad you like it, son, Daddy told him, but you best thank your mother. She picked it out. Thank you, Mommy, Victor said, giving her a big hug. This is the best gift ever. Well, now that you have everything you need, what do you say we start your quest? Mommy said, giving him a hug back. Let's go, Daddy said, opening the car door for Mommy. We have a bit of a ride to the museum. Victor and his parents loaded into the car and drove into the Mesa Verde National Park. The drive to the museum was twisty and turny. You could see the mesas on one side and cliffs on the other. Less than 10 minutes into the park, they entered a tunnel right through the middle of a mountain. It was so dark inside the tunnel. All Victor could see were the car's headlights reflected on the road and the side of the tunnel walls and a bright light way ahead. As the car raced to the end of the tunnel, the light brightened and brightened. Victor was momentarily blinded by the bright sunshine when the car exited the tunnel. It was amazing. The family arrived at the archaeological museum and Victor began going through the exhibits, collecting information. He learned that the Pueblo Indians built cliff houses out of mud and stone. They were originally called basket weaver. But then they became farmers and they grew corn and beans and squash. They had a round room called a kiva, and it was a special room for ceremonies and meetings. Victor finished a page in his Junior Ranger workbook, and the family headed over to the Mesa Top Loop Drive to complete his booklet. Daddy, this place is so cool. I can't believe that people without real tools built all of these houses in the cliffs, Victor said, astonished. I know, his father answered. It is pretty amazing and beautiful. It makes me want to see everything there is to see in America, Victor told his father. Well, let's finish with this trip first, Daddy said. Have you completed your Junior Ranger book? Yep, I just finished. Great job, Victor. You have been a very good steward, Mommy said, ruffling his hair. What's been your favorite part of the day so far? Everything, really, he answered. But being up here and seeing as far as we can see, I imagine that I'm a Puebloan and I feel lucky to live in such a beautiful place. That is such a nice thought, Mommy answered. Do you think the Pueblo Indians felt lucky? Asked his mother. I suppose they did. You know, they worked hard, they grew their own food, built their own homes and communities. And with all these views, I'll bet they felt very lucky. The family spent the rest of the day driving through the loop and exploring the Sun Temple, Navajo Canyon, and the Oak Tree House. And finally, the Cliff Palace. It was amazing. What do you say we head back to the campsite and cook up some dinner? Daddy asked. That sounds like a good idea, Mommy said. But let's stop by the museum first. Victor has earned his Junior Ranger badge. Victor received his Junior Ranger badge at the museum from Ranger Spencer. Congratulations, son. You did a fine job. He pinned the badge on Victor's shirt. Thanks, Ranger Spencer, Victor answered. I learned a lot. Maybe someday I can be a ranger just like you. Well, maybe. You know, there are over 400 national parks across America, and there is something to see and do in every one of them. I hope I can see them all, Victor replied, looking at his badge. Although the Mesa Verde is a pretty great park, I don't know how the other parks are going to compare. Oh, you'd be amazed. Each park is different and amazing in their own right. Ranger Spencer shook Victor's hand. Well, enjoy the rest of your visit and continue to be a good steward of the land, Victor. I will. Thank you, Ranger Spencer. Okay, son, let's go get some victuals, Daddy said, ushering Victor and Mommy out the door of the museum. During dinner of chicken and corn on the cob cooked over the fire, Daddy told Victor he has a surprise for him in the morning. What is it? What is it, Daddy? You'll see, Daddy answered. Mommy will pack a special lunch and we'll have about an hour drive. But I'm pretty certain you'll enjoy this adventure too. I don't know. I kind of like it here, though. There are a lot of things to see. I know, but tomorrow you are going to travel like you never have before. Can I get a hint? Well, you'll be able to see far and wide and be in more than one place. Does that sound like something you might like? Victor couldn't wait. That night he fell asleep dreaming about seeing as far as the eye could see. "Good morning, Victor," Mommy said, brushing Victor's hair from his eyes. "Time to get up. Daddy's making scrambled eggs for breakfast." They ate at the picnic table and then cleaned up together so they could head out on their adventure. An hour later, Daddy was pulling into the Four Corners Monument Navajo Tribal Park. "Here we are," he proclaimed. "What is this place?" Victor asked. "We're in the middle of nowhere." "Oh, I think you're going to love this," Mommy answered. "We're at the only place in these United States where you can put your hand on the ground and physically be in 4 states at the exact same time." "What? How is that even possible?" "Let's go see," Daddy said, parking the car. Mommy, Daddy, and Victor walked into the monument area. There was a round area in the center with buildings or stalls all around for vendors. There were 6 giant flagpoles with flags flapping in the wind. One for Colorado, one for the Ute Nation, one for Utah, one for Arizona, one for the Navajo Nation, and one for New Mexico. Victor walked to the center of the monument and was in awe. He laid his hand on the medallion in the center. It was a very simple medallion, just 2 lines intersecting with each other, with each state's name in their own corner. Around the medallion, starting in Colorado, were the words, "Here meet, in freedom, under God, 4 states." "Oh my goodness," Victor exclaimed. "I'm touching Colorado, Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico right now. And my hand is even in the Navajo and Ute nations. This is so cool." "This has been the greatest adventure. 4 states in one moment," Victor told his parents. "I can't wait to find out where we're going next." The end. Wow, can you imagine living somewhere so close where you are actually in 4 states at one time? That had to be amazing. I would love to go there. Maybe you would too. I'm sure there's lots of fun places for you to go in your own state. But just think about it. 4 states in one spot. Pretty amazing. Don't forget to share my stories. I will see you next week. I have a whole new story for you. What do you think the next state is? I'll see you then. Mwah.